Hello, my name is Charlotte. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, thank you so much for joining, and if you are not new, thank you for coming back. It's always lovely to see you again. It is nearly the end of 2023. I think when I'm filming this and when I'm uploading this, because I'm doing a same day thing, we have 3 weeks left of the year. So it's pretty crazy stuff. So I thought I would basically do my 2023 favourites, throw it back to old school YouTube because I know we all love a little bit of old school YouTube, share the things that I've loved this year, the things that I definitely will be taking into 2024 with me. I've split this up into kind of like books, music, podcasts, and then more like miscellaneous-y bits and pieces. I don't think this will be super long, but yeah, I just wanted to share. I think we all love talking about things that we love, so let's just jump straight into it, and let's start with books. Although we are not actually going to be starting with a book, we are going to be starting with my Kindle. This has got to be my favourite product of 2023. Like, I got this for my birthday back in October and I have used it pretty much at least every week since then. I do still read, obviously, as you can see, I do still read a good amount of paperback, like of on-hand hardbacks. I still read a lot of physical books, but I love having my Kindle. I love having that as an option, especially with reading chunkier books. Like, I've been reading the Akatar series. I'm on the final book now and I'm reading it on my Kindle, even though as you can see, even though I have the paper copy, it's so much easier to read a book that's 750 pages on your Kindle because, like, I couldn't hold it. It hurt. It was heavy. I hated it. So yeah, we're reading on my Kindle and I adore it. The other thing I love on my Kindle is just using it for like the stickers. I am filming with a ring light on, so please excuse that reflection, but I love that I can show like my personality with all of the stickers, and like it's just fun. Like, it really, I've not had anything where I'm like, oh, I can just show my personality, I can have fun with something like that in such a long time, and yeah, I'm adoring that. Okay, so for our actual favourite books of the year, these are just a selection. I am going to be doing a full video of every book that I read this year. I'm on my 34th, yeah. I'm on my 34th book of the year, and I'm hoping to get up to at least 40. 45 would be awesome. My original reading goal was 12, so we've come a long way. But yeah, these are just a selection. As I said, I will be doing a full video probably in January talking about every book that I read in 2023. So these are just some of the ones that I loved. Starting with, we already know, the Magnolia Park series. I hate the fact that I have the new covers. I will be buying the old covers soon because I pre-ordered the old style cover for the new book, and the only reason that I didn't buy the new style covers was because I thought that the new book wouldn't come out with the old style. I was wrong. So yeah, I have these versions, and then I read the others on Kindle Unlimited. I just love these series so much. The characters are also problematic and I love it. Like, they're also toxic, they're awful people, but I love it. I eat it up every time. These are not good books, but they are fun and I love them. They're not literary masterpieces, like, they're just not. If that's what you want, my book recommendations are probably not the ones for you. But these, I love them. I love the characters. Like, they're characters that are so toxic, but you love them anyway. Like, they do stupid things and you're like, why on earth are you even doing that? Like, that's so dumb. That goes away from everything that you want in, like, what you're telling people that you want, but you forgive them and you love them for it anyway. So Magnolia Parks is about like a socialite and the on again off again relationship with BJ Valentine, who is Britain's most photographed bad boy. So yeah, we kind of go through their relationship, all of how dysfunctional they are. They aren't ever together. They aren't together like when we start this book. It is just, yeah, they're really hard books to describe without spoilers. But yeah, honestly, so good, like so good. And then Daisy Hates exists in the same world, but it follows a different character. It follows Daisy Hates, and her older brother is London's most notorious gang lord, and she's a medical student, so these are super interesting. I love the character Daisy Hates. I love all of the characters in this. I also love Julian Hates. Oh my God. Julian Hates, my favourite book boyfriend. I love that man. Yeah, so I love these books. I just love them. I adore them. I would really recommend reading them. The thing that I always say to people, if you are picking up these books, please do not read them like you are reading a romance. You are not reading a romance, you are reading a reality TV show as a book where you get the inner monologue of the characters. Imagine Gossip Girl, imagine Made in Chelsea, but you're getting the inner monologue of those people. So moving away from those kind of books, 2023 was the year that I really got into fantasy, and I found two of my favourite books possibly of all time. Powerless and The Ballad of Never After. I'm going to talk about Powerless first because it's the one that I read first. I adore this book so much. So much. It is everything. I love it. Love it. So Powerless is set in a kind of dystopian world. It is more of a dystopian fantasy where there are ordinaries and there are elites. The elites have possessed powers for decades, gifted to them by the plague. And those are born ordinary are just that, and they are banished from the kingdom of Ilya and shunned from society. Our main character, Payton, is an ordinary, but no one knows. Her father taught her how to keep it a secret, and she does keep it a secret. And then we also follow the journey of one of Ilya's princes and how our two characters get thrown together in the Purging Trials. The Purging Trials are very much giving Hunger Games. I know that was the author Lauren's, like, one of her really big inspirations for this book and for the series, because this is going to be a trilogy. I cannot wait for book 2. The Hunger Games were such a big inspiration for that, so this is giving such Hunger Games vibes. The romance, oh my god. Another, my book boyfriends of the year, Julian Hates, this man right here. Adore them, absolutely adore them. Yeah, it had me kicking my feet, giggling. The banter is incredible. This is such like a true enemies to lovers. I eat that shit up every time. And then going on to The Ballad of Never After. This is lovely. It's a lovely little book. It is it's the second book in the Once Upon a Broken Heart trilogy, which is just an amazing trilogy. The last book let me down, but this book, she did not let me down. So good. So these books are about Evangeline, who makes a deal with a fate, the Prince of Hearts, in order to stop the love of her life, or who she thinks is the love of her life's wedding. And we kind of follow her on this journey where it ends up taking them, because it isn't straightforward. It doesn't just stop with the deal that is made. When I started the first book, I kind of thought that like the whole book was going to be about this deal being made, but like it's literally done on the first page, like straight up. So yeah, absolutely adore this. The ending of this book broke me, started to put me back together, and then shattered me. Like I don't think I've ever read an ending of a book that is like this. Like, for the girls that have read Fourth Wing and Iron Flame, like imagine that. We're so heartbroken. Insane. And then the final books I'm going to talk about today as one of my favourites. I read this way back last January, and it's After I Do by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I adored this book. I actually was reading my Goodreads review earlier, and I said this was the best book that I've ever read. I don't know if that sounds true now, but I still adore it. I think it is amazing. So We follow the characters of Lauren and Ryan. They met and fell in love in college, and then a decade later their marriage reaches breaking point. Hoping to find a way to fall in love again, they come up with a plan to take a year off from each other. There is one rule: they cannot contact each other. It's so good. The thing that I love about this is the questions of marriage that come up from this book. This isn't a normal romance. We really talk about things like monogamy and the concept of marriage and why their relationship started to fail whilst they were married. And we kind of go through the early phases of their relationship. We're going back and forth. We're making time jumps. It's incredible. I love this book. I found it just so thought-provoking. It was so good. So good. So that is it in terms of the books that I read. Well, they're not the books I read this year, but my favourite books of the year. So going on to my favourite podcast. Let's do podcast first. So one of the podcasts that I really got into this year is Shameless. I adore this. Their tagline for Shameless is, so the pop culture podcast for smart people who love dumb stuff. And I adore it. It is basically like a pop culture podcast. They kind of sum up all of the pop culture news from the week, like celebrity news, entertainment news. It's so interesting, but they always do it in a way that is respectful. They will only talk about certain topics once a celebrity has spoken about them. For example, things like pregnancy rumours, all of that kind of stuff is only ever spoken about once it has been confirmed by the person in question. So most recently obviously with Suki Waterhouse's pregnancy, they didn't talk about it until she made the comment on stage, basically. Love that podcast. It's so entertaining. It's by a group of Australians, and honestly it's so good. I love it. I cannot talk highly enough of it. The other things that I love from it is I love their Scandal series. So the way that the podcast works is you have weekly episodes that come out on a Thursday, and then on a Monday there is a Scandal episode, and it covers a different kind of pop culture scandal from history. So the most recent one has been some of Lena Dunham's scandals, because we know she's a scandalous gal, and it's so interesting. I absolutely adore it, especially because so often I think we see people saying about how problematic someone is, but past a certain period of time, like since they have been decided to be problematic, people don't mention what they did wrong. And if you weren't on social media a lot when it happened and you don't know, it's really hard to find out why people are still really mad about things. So that's what I love about Scandal. My favourite one from the year, they did one all about the Call Her Daddy breakup. That was really interesting because I didn't know any of that. The Ariana Grande series was really good. They've also done some In Conversations when they came to the UK, which was super interesting. The college admission scandal, that was so interesting. The Tiger Woods affair was another good one that I listened to this year. But yeah, there's been some really good ones. They're just so interesting to me. I do love pop culture and celebrity and everything like that. The next podcast I have is actually another one by Shameless Media. They are the production team on it, and that is Everybody Has a Secret. This is quite a new podcast in my life. As I said, it's by the same people that do Shameless Media, and each episode they focus on one person's secret. So you write in anonymously sharing a deep secret. Sometimes they're asking for advice, sometimes they're literally just sharing. And then the hosts, they normally have, so Annabelle is the main host, and then they have typically a guest host as well. And they do a bit of back and forth. They think about, they play devil's advocate with it, is the person in the wrong, is the person in the right? Because obviously, a lot of the time with a secret, there is the implication that it needs to stay hidden for a reason and that they've done something wrong. And it's so interesting. So one that was so good was about someone that had a 7-month affair, and they are still married to the person that they were married to when they were having the affair. the story was wild, and it was basically the person saying like, I don't regret having this affair, it made my marriage better, it made me feel like I could be more independent, and oh my god, so interesting. It's the episode called The Restaurateur. I would really recommend listening to it. These are great as well because most of them are only about half an hour, so they're a nice kind of quick listen. But yeah, I would really recommend that podcast. And then the final podcast, I love it every single year. I eat up every single episode. I love these two girls. It is The Girls' Bathroom with Sophia and Cinzia. I think we all know The Girls' Bathroom podcast and we all love it. It's a good podcast, and definitely like another one of my favourites from the year. So moving on to music, I'm gonna get my Spotify wrapped up because I'm basically just gonna run through that because I feel like music wise that's the best way to do it. My top artists for the year, and these are definitely my favourites, are Taylor Swift, Zach Bryan, Megan Maroney, Harry Styles and Noah Khan. Definitely my favourite artists for the year. They are the 5 people that I've pretty much exclusively listened to this year. Honourable mentions to Gracie Abrams, Lizzie McAlpine, Sabrina Carpenter and Olivia Rodrigo. I feel like those 4 I have also listened to a fair amount this year as well, and definitely some of my favourites. In terms of my favourite albums of the year, because obviously Spotify Wrapped doesn't tell us favourite albums. The albums that I've listened to a lot have been Stick Season by Noah Khan, 1989 Taylor's version, obviously that came out this year, so good. And in a similar way, speaking of Taylor's version, 1989 Taylor's version has altered the trajectory of my life. I wasn't that much of a 1989 girly until those Vault tracks came out, and I've bought it on vinyl. I'm getting a record player for Christmas. I have 1989 Taylor's version on vinyl, like, because that is how much of those I love those Vault tracks. I listen to those 4 songs all the time. And then my other favourite album from the year was Lucky by Megan Maroney. A really good album. I love her other songs as well that aren't on that album, but I do love that album. Okay, so moving on to the last few products. We have Heatless Curls. So obviously we're moving away from music, we're moving away from books, we're moving away from podcasts, we're moving on to just miscellaneous. So Heatless Curlers, I got these over the summer and I love them. I love them so much. I don't use them all the time, but I use them a fair amount, and honestly life-changing. Like if I want to curl my hair, these are how I'm curling it now. I can't remember the last time I've curled my hair like with straighteners or with a curler. Like, it is always with these. They're just so good. If you haven't jumped on the heatless curler hype yet, do it. These are from Boots. They are silk ones. I think the silk makes a big difference because otherwise, like, I feel like my hair would go really frizzy, and these kind of stop that. I use my like Babyliss big roll brush dryer thing to like smooth everything out, and then I go in with this, and yeah, it hits every time. Sometimes they're a little bit crazy, but by the time they drop out, like, they're all good. Like, one of my favourite products easily. The next one is a skincare product, and it's the Clinique Take the Day Off cream. My one is battered. I didn't get in on the hype with this for a long time, and I don't know why, because it's so good. I've had this for months and I have so much left. It's so good. It does such a good job of taking your makeup off. You literally barely need any of it, like a nail sized amount if that. And yeah, my skin loves it. Like, it's not caused me to break out or anything. I was just using micellar water before, and I definitely think the micellar water was making me break out, but no, this is fantastic. I adore it. And the final thing that I have to talk about is this makeup bag. It is from the Flat Lay Co. I think I got this for Christmas last year, and I love it. So if you aren't familiar with these, basically you can lay it flat, and then you just pull this toggle to make it into a bag. Yes, it's huge. Yes, it's kind of inconvenient, but for around the house, so easy, because I am so bad for leaving my makeup scrawled everywhere. But with this, because I just like it always just stays in the bag, because I just empty this out flat, and then I just keep, like, everything stays in that pile, whereas normally I'd be like emptying out the bag, and then when I'm done, and it's all wrapped up. So yeah, definitely a big favourite. I think that is everything in terms of my favourites for this year. Oh wait, let me do favourite creators, because that's that's a fun one. So favourite creators that I've really gotten into this year are Rachel Catherine. Adore her. She posts like book and lifestyle content. Sophie Jane, I think, is her YouTube name. I'm gonna put everyone's screenshots on the screen. Again, in the same friendship group with Rachel, and then the third friend in that friendship group that makes content is Georgia Richards. They make quite similar content, lots and lots of vlogs, just really like, I just love their vibe. They have like a little book club, they always vlog their book club. It's so fun as well because they all like vlog and they'll see each other and you get like everyone's perspectives on the meetups. Like I love their content, they're so wholesome. And then the other two are Destiny. I don't know Destiny's last name or her YouTube name, again put on the screen, and Sarah Caroli as well. The book girlies, those two really got me into book content, so have to give those shout outs. But yeah, that is all of my favourites from the year. So we've got books, creators, music, podcasts, and our miscellaneous items. But yeah, let me know some of your favourites from 2023 down below, and I will catch you in the next one. If you like this, please do give it a thumbs up and subscribe. It would mean the absolute world, and I will catch you in the next one.